What's up guys, Lifting here. As I promised you in the last video, I'm going to give you guys a recommendation of mods to use for Grim Dawn, and these are the mods that I am using myself when I am playing. There are plenty more mods to check out if you wish to, but these three are the ones I suggest anyone to try out, as they do add a ton of quality of life improvements to the game in my opinion. In case you're interested in trying out Grim Dawn, please consider using my link on Humble Bundle to purchase it. It will at no cost to you help support the stream, not to mention charities all around the world. Thank you if you do. Grim Dawn mod recommendation number 1 is the amazing Grim Internals tool. This mod comes with a huge amount of quality of life improvements to the game, such as auto loot of components, and if enabled also auto loot of rare items, lore nodes, blueprints, and so forth. This saves us a huge amount of time in the long run by not having to stop up and click every single little component or item every time they drop. And there are lots of these dropping, so it really does make a nice difference in the long run. It also has the feature to auto-combine the components you find as you pick them up and store them in your inventory. It does not auto-combine components in your stash, however, that's for you to control. Another huge improvement gained via this mod is the ability to turn on health bars on enemies, friendly minions, and for your own character in case you wish to do so. A feature you would imagine the game to offer by itself, but unfortunately does not. However, with this mod you can now do it. Besides that, it also allows you to track how many items, experience, and iron bits you're making per session, making it easier to figure out if a particular farm route is more bountiful than others. And if enabled, it will also give you a notification when a nemesis spawn is near you, something I greatly appreciate when farming that particular type of content. And you can of course at any time disable or enable the UI or text information you can see here over at the side. You do not need to have it on if you don't like it. It also gives you a DPS meter if you want to try and test things out. Another highly useful feature is the enabling of tracking your active cooldowns and debuffs on your character. This makes it much easier to get a proper overview of when you can rely on a specific defensive proc being available or on cooldown, and thus figuring out what you need to do to survive in that current situation. The mod has many other minor settings that you can enable via the configurator UI or in the INI file of the mod itself. If I had to recommend just a single mod, Grim Internals would be the one, especially due to the auto loot. Fortunately, I don't have to limit myself to just one, so here comes mod number 2 on the list. The second mod I recommend installing is the Rainbow Filter mod. While we have a great item filter in-game that can hide unwanted loot, the Rainbow Filter makes it even easier to distinguish between the loot you actually pick up. It basically color codes affixes, making it easier to get a quick overview of what item attributes the item offers. To give an example, let's take a look at my boots here. As you can see, the affixes have been colored relevant to the type of damage or defense they provide. Fire, cold, aether, lightning, poison, etc. all have different colors, making it easier for you to make a quick distinguishment between of what the item have to offer and whether or not it is of use to you. I also find it greatly beneficial that the mod makes a distinguishment between regular rare drops and monster infrequent items dropping by giving the title of the item a difference in color depending on what type of rare item it is. A monster infrequent item does by default have a more faded green label to it as compared to the regular rare item, and this is a big time saver for when you eventually start farming for those specific affix drops and item types. The third mod I recommend installing is called Grim Dawn Item Assistant, and it is especially useful for us people who like hoarding all our different unique and legendary items. It essentially works by granting you unlimited stash storage and thus allowing you to save whatever item you'd like to have available for future use. This is amazing in case you find items you don't necessarily need for your main character or leveling items for that next build you have in mind. The Item Assistant mod gives you the opportunity to catalog and save all of these items and grants easy access to them for whenever you need them. To save the items, you simply drop them into the 6th stash tab under the item transfer category and then close the stash. When you reopen the stash, the items have been cataloged and removed from the tab. Whenever you need to use the item again, you look it up in the Item Assistant UI and press Transfer to Stash. You can then find that item in your 5th stash tab under the item transfer category. And you can change which stash tabs you wish to use for the cataloging and providing items under the settings in the mod. It doesn't necessarily have to be the 5th and 6th if you prefer differently. Since there are tons of items in the game, the ability to catalog the items also enables you to easily locate gear with specific attributes useful to your build by toggling filters in the sidebar, having only the items that meet the filter requirements show up. Another really cool feature of this mod is that in case you play the game with friends or in a community, then the body feature allows you to sync up and display the items you and your friends have found in the UI. That means that if you are looking for a particular item, you can search for it and check to see if your buddies have it available, and if so, opening up for a potential trade between them. I use this feature a lot on my stream by having my regular viewers add me and me them. This allows us to have this local but intimate trading environment, streamlining the process in case we wish to trade with each other. As I said, there are many other mods for Grim Dawn, some that completely change the game and others that just provide minor quality of life improvements. These are the 3 mods I recommend anyone to get installed, as they will greatly improve your time in the game without being too intrusive and without cheapening the experience and difficulty of the game. If you wish to try out Grim Dawn with or without any of the expansions, then please do me a favor and use that Humble Bundle link below to obtain it, and in case you do so, thank you very much, I appreciate your support. I'm streaming Grim Dawn daily on Twitch TV/LiftingNerdBro. We have a friendly and helpful community, and you are most welcome to join us over here if you're looking for company while playing this fantastic game. Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?